As usual, everybody, we are in the Philippines and we will do, we're going to go ahead and get started here. We got Lane today. Just, yeah, okay. Yeah, I've actually thought about that, Patrick, putting in a hot bath with Epsom salts too. So thank you guys for that. Also, like I told y'all yesterday, keep Holly's, I believe it's her mother-in-law or whatever, in prayer because they brought her home for hospice. Because she's probably got 2 more months to live and that's about it. So that's no fun. All right, Lane, let me give you sharing access, multiple sharing, and you are good to go.
All right, cool. Good evening from my end, everyone. I don't know where everyone is at in the world or on this globe, but wherever you are at, spinning around, wish you a good evening, and we'll have a good time tonight. What we're going to do tonight is I'm going to go through an entire setup from start to finish like we have a brand new campaign. So it happens to be my son. He's got a mobile detailing business. He'll do over 6 figures this year in his mobile detailing business, and he's 20 years old. And he's got a second location that we're going to start doing SEO for. And he literally just filled out the form yesterday, came in today. So we haven't gotten it set up yet. So it's actually going to be a really good, maybe a good case study. We can just, I can show you guys what happens when we are going to do an SEO campaign, how we set up the Signal Genesys component, which is a decent size or decent part of the overall setup that we do on an SEO campaign. We do a Google Stack build on a new SEO campaign. We do a Yext integration, a data aggregators integration, and let's see here, Google Stack build, the integrations for citations and listings, and the Signal Genesys component, which we'll do tonight live. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we do on a new, well, we do build out a set of tier 1 branded profiles. So, you know, the Tumblrs, just the blogging accounts that we can syndicate to as well. So that encompasses pretty much our setup. And tonight we'll do the Signal Genesys component of that. So let me go ahead and, you guys are seeing my screen? Give me, let me just open up my chat here real quick. Give me a 1 if you guys are seeing my screen so I can see what's going on here. All right, cool. Thanks, guys. All right. Let me just get these windows situated so I can navigate too. If you do have questions, throw them right in chat. That way we can handle them near the end. Or if there's something that, you know, William, if you want, you can always jump into and stop me if there's something we got to do. But I'm gonna, my goal right now is I'm gonna go through a brand new setup from start to finish with basically Media Room, Twitter, Reddit, and Google. We're not gonna launch Knowledge-Based Help Center, and Facebook and Instagram are not live for everyone, so I'm not gonna go through that. That's still in beta. So, all right, so got a brand new campaign here, and we want to go ahead and get things set up. Now, the one thing I have done is we do have a brand new Gmail account that was created by our staff. That's one of the first things that we do is create a new Gmail account. And once we have that Gmail account, we actually come in and we add a new Chrome profile. So that is one of the very first steps. Once the new Gmail, or to actually create the new Gmail account, we actually go through, whoever is assigned to that task will go in and create a new Chrome profile and create the new Gmail account. Anyone else who, like me today, is going to sign into that Gmail account. For me, if it's the first time, I'm going to create a new Chrome profile in my browser as well, and then we'll continue through signing in with this new Chrome profile. So give me 1 second while I just make sure I get this real quick. I'm just signing into this Gmail account. Just give me a second while I get usernames and passwords here, so this is not visible to everybody. Okay. All right, so here we go. We're signing in to this new Chrome profile, and now we're in. And let me bring this back up here. Okay. This these I'm on one screen here, and this I have to move these. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry. There we go. I had these Zoom windows are everywhere. Okay, so now we got this going here. We're signed in here. We got our Gmail account, and I'm going to go to our mail. And what we'll do is now we're going to go create Reddit and Twitter. And come on. It's not opening for me, of course. It's always going to do that. I'm going to give me a second, guys. This is, of course, having issues. Damn. I cannot get out of this here. I don't know why my screen is locked here on this. Give me a second, guys. Sorry. This is giving me a really weird view here that I've never seen before, so I apologize. Stand by. I'm fixing it. Oh my goodness. All right. This is this new Chrome profile is giving me some issues, and I don't really know why. So I'm just going to try and fix it. If not, I'm going to scratch the Chrome profile, and we'll just kind of go around it. But that's what we do, nonetheless, when we have a new. I've got a brand new Mac here. I don't know if anybody's encountered this with new Chrome profiles. I've got a brand new Mac and a brand new version of Chrome, which is giving me a little bit different view on the Chrome profile. So I don't know why that's doing that, but we do this so that I'm just like, while I'm working this out, guys, what we're doing when we do this is we're avoiding cross-contamination with our Chrome profiles. All right. So if you have multiple people working on a campaign and they're using the same Gmail account, but they're signing into multiple Gmail accounts as part of that work from different places, and you've got different people from different machines and different IP addresses. And then you're doing all that inside one browser cache for, let's say, in a browser instance, that will create a really, really big issue. There we go. Now it's working. Over time, those browser caches will cross-contaminate, and we'll have all sorts of issues, notwithstanding issues just signing in as well. And so when team members want to get signed in, they can oftentimes have issues because they'll get blocked and all sorts of security issues. So to keep the cross-contamination from happening, this is what we do in terms of just having a different Gmail account for each client or each location, and then a Chrome profile is associated with that. Once we have that, then we can move forward with going to Reddit. So we're going to go to Reddit and create a real quick Reddit account. We'll go to Twitter. We'll create a Twitter account for this location, and then we'll be able to use those inside Signal Genesys and activate those app channels. So that's what we're going to do here real quick. So we'll create this new Reddit account. All right. And Go to profile. Now, in a normal sense, we'll go in and we'll create this whole profile. We'll get a letter, an image in here. We'll fill out the profile as much as we can. I'm not going to do all that, right now, just for time's sake. But that's what we would normally do. And we'll go in here to make sure all this is good. We won't use two-factor authentication. We can connect. We will connect to Twitter once we have the Twitter account. Okay. And so let me go in here and push down a little bit more. There we go. Make sure that's right. This is the about a half an hour to an hour setup, depending on who's doing it. Okay, we got that. We'll skip that for now. All right, now we've got the Twitter account and the Reddit account created. Now we'll go to app.signalgenesis.io and log in. Give me 1 second while I grab the information for that. Okay. Usually you'll have this. Obviously, I'm getting this for somebody else, so I had to go in here and get this. But you'll have this already, and you'll usually just be logged into your account. Okay. Come on. Boy, oh boy. Go. Sorry about that, guys. Just had to go get this. Okay. So we're in here. We are now going to go to the entities. That took a lot longer than it would normally do, just because of the extra Chrome profile issue, guys. Sorry about that. But we're going to come in here. We're now going to start activating our app channels. Okay, so I'll go to Twitter. We'll activate that first. And we're going to enable tier 2. and confirm. I'll explain why you probably want tier 2 in your activations. It's up to you whether you do tier 1 or tier 2. But that's now activated. You can see it's just that quick as once you're signed into your accounts there like that, it's nice and easy to connect. So we'll enable tier 2 here. It'll go through our app authorization, will allow, and that's now activated. All right, and then we're going to go to media room, and then we're going to deploy all 3 media rooms now. Okay, so we're going to enable tier 2. Okay, and tier 2 will enable us to then come in here and deploy the hosted and branded domain versions of the media room. Okay, so looks like this integration code was created today. You're going to probably want enhanced. I'll explain what enhanced is generally tonight. We'll get into more detail on that next week. Enhanced just went live yesterday. Well, it went live a couple days ago. The bugs got worked out yesterday. This is part of a massive new code push. Enhanced is going to be progressive optimization and integration into Google Search Console on an app channel by app channel basis for a lot better results. So there'll be things happening automatically for you if you choose enhanced. If you choose standard, then it'll be kind of a static media room or a static channel. There won't be the integration with Google Search Console or the progressive optimizations that happen on the different assets that are deployed. All right, so we would take this code and go to the website and install the media room there. That's just simply installing the code on a new page called media room, or in this case, we've got a 2-location business. So we would create a new media room under the location silo for in this case, the Raleigh location. That appears to have been done. I'm going to go ahead and create the hosted domain version now. In this case, we're going to use the company brand. So Mobile Detail Dr. Raleigh, and then we're going to choose the mediaroom.app domain, and we're going to hit request hosted domain. Our system going out to Amazon to provision the SSL that was just completed. And now we've got a live media room on Mobile Detail Dr. Raleigh.mediaroom.app. And you can see we've already got some press releases that have already been done for this location previously, which is why they're already here. As soon as this is launched, if there's any existing articles or press releases in that account for that entity, they'll already show up here. We can dive into any one of these, see the press release, see the GMB listing, and the in the news integration is also live automatically on this hosted version. Okay, so now what I'm going to do here is go back to Signal Genesys, and we're going to close that. And now we're also going to launch the branded domain version of the media room. So this is the WWM version. So this is going to be the actual client's root domain here, mobiledetaildoctor.com. And if we come over here to about, we'll see that site right here. Okay, so that's correct. So it's going to be on wwm.mobiledetaildr.com. Make sure I got it all spelled right. We're good to go. Yep, good to go. Request certificate. All right, now what our system is going to do is it's going to give us a CNAME record that we have to go add to the DNS records for this domain. This first CNAME record that we're gonna add allows our system on AWS to verify that you in fact have control over this domain. So all you got to do is click on the name and click on the value, and it'll copy to your clipboard. So I'm going to go here and go back to this one, and I'm going to go ahead and add my first CNAME record. I had this open at least to save some time. So I'm going to paste my value in there. And then I'm going to come back here. I pasted my name. Now I'm going to get my target or my value. Come back here. And we are going to turn proxy off and hit save. You can do it on auto or TTL 1 minute, whatever you want there. And then we'll come back here to Signal Genesis and we'll refresh. Okay, it hasn't found the record yet. Cloudflare is still propagating it. Cloudflare is probably one of the fastest in terms of getting these records actually live. So it doesn't take very long. Okay, it's already live. The first record is good. So now that the first record has been validated and we're getting that confirmation here, I'm going to hit request branded domain. It's going to give me my second CNAME record, which is the WWM. So I'm going to copy that. I'm going to go back to add my second CNAME record. I'll paste that in. Sometimes Cloudflare will just strip that extra stuff out. And I'll go back here. Turn off proxy. In Cloudflare, you can just put in WWM, okay? And hit save. And that's it. We'll go back to Signal Genesis. Now, it usually is going to take about 10 minutes for our system to go ahead and actually recognize it. So if I click on this now, it's not going to load. We'll come back here in 5 or 10 minutes and refresh, and it will be live. And we're going to see basically the media room that's live here is also going to be live here on WWM, which will give us then 3 full deployments of the media room, okay? It'll be integrated directly into the client's website, adopting the client's website CSS, styling, layout, all that from their website. And then we're going to have 2 externally hosted versions, one on the mediaroom.app subdomain and one on the wwm.clients domain subdomain. Those 2 are going to work in concert with the integrated version, especially in the now new enhanced option that is, you're able to toggle that on. That will all, now we have basically 2 more assets that are deployed working with the content that we publish to the media room. So when we publish an article, it'll publish to this one, it'll publish to this one, and it'll publish to, let's see if we've got it in here yet. I think probably, I don't think they have it live for the Raleigh version, but you're going to have the Wake Forest version, you'll have the Raleigh version, both on the website, which are integrated versions. So, so then all this is going to start to work together in concert with the Twitter and the Reddit. So if I were to come in now and do a press release for the Raleigh location, okay, our system is going to find the GMB listing. Because we've put this in the entity, we'll check those boxes. We're now done with step 1. I'm going to skip step 2 because step 2 is where we put in all the content, our links and all that stuff, the summary and the blog summary. Step 3 is where we pick our distribution. And now because we've got Twitter and we've got Reddit connected, we can now send content via a post or a tweet about this press release, and our system is going to use the featured image and the summary that you put here, and then post that to the Reddit account, tweet that to the Twitter account with a link back, and then we can also then deploy our social wall. So if we go back to Signal Genesis here, and we go back to this entity, we'll be able to also deploy the social wall now that we've got Twitter and Reddit connected. So we can come in here to Twitter, and we can go to our branded integration, we can choose, and now we're going to create our social media code. I'm going to make that enhanced code as well. Our social media code has now been provisioned. I'm going to copy that code, and then I'm going to go and log into this site. And if you give me a second, I'll actually create that in live with you guys as well. So just give me a second, and I'll log in. Okay. All right, so now I'm going to create a new social wall. Okay, so I go to pages, add new. You can also call it social feed. That's up to you, whatever you want to call it. We'll call it the social wall. And we're going to edit with Elementor. You could add it right there as an HTML code into a text box, but we'll use Elementor. And we will come over here and just drag HTML here. We're going to grab our code, come back here. Publish that page. I'll probably put it a header up above this just to style it, make it look nicer. But oh, we don't have any posts. They're brand new. So what we have to do is come here and create a post, and then that social wall will actually start to add up. Now, I'll show you a live one just so you can see what it looks like once you have some posts. You can go to our Quantum Agency site and look at a live social wall if you want. This one also has our Facebook and Instagram somewhat integrated because we've got those on demo accounts to test it. But this is a live social wall. You can see it here. You got live, as recent as a couple of days ago or even yesterday. You can click out, go right to it, and it opens up that tweet. But now we're bringing in social signals. Okay, so if we want to get into why are we doing this, we're generating social signals now on the target domain. Okay, we're taking what is traditionally a very weak ranking signal and turning it into a more powerful signal around the entity and its target website by integrating this social wall into their website. Also, once you have that integrated in their website, we can also choose the hosted domain. Just like we did with the media room, only this is going to be socialwall.xyz. Matt tells me we've got a bunch of different domains that'll be options for both media rooms and the social walls. But now we can click on that, and now we've got an externally hosted social wall that is hosted here, and this will fill up with posts as we fill up the Twitter and Reddit account with posts. What does that look like? Live. Here's the externally hosted social wall with the live posts, and you've got live individualized pages. So just the Reddit, just the Twitter, so on and so forth. So that you're going to have that both on the integrated version directly on the client's site or target website. We'll call it the target site. And then you can also have the externally hosted version as well if you have tier 2 of the app channel activated. I'm going to explain the tiers, and here's why we have this. I know it's a little complicated and hard to understand, but we did this for a very specific reason, because we serve agencies. We did not build this directly for businesses. We built this for an SEO company or an agency that has multiple clients. Some of our clients have 200, 300, 400 different businesses on our platform that they're using this for every single month. So let's just take somebody who's got 200 clients or 200 SEO campaigns that they have inside their Signal Genesys account, and they've got, let's just say they've got tier 2 app channel for Twitter and Reddit and the media rooms all deployed for all 200 clients. And that will cost them about, say, 10 to 15 credits per month, depending on the tier that they're on or their account access tier. Let's just say it's 10 credits a month just to make the math easy. So we've got 200 clients at 10 credits a month. That's $2,000 in credits a month that large agency is going to spend for all 200 of its clients if it's going to do that as a set standard SOP for all its SEO campaigns. That is the case in many of these instances. So This agency gets this all deployed for all 200 clients. We are continuing to build these app channels and build and innovate the features within them. For example, our Google Review app channel is just Google Reviews today. That will become Google Reviews, Google Posting, Google Insight, Google Info Management, and GeoGrids. We expect to have all of that done before the end of the year. In fact, I'm positive it will be. We've got a big integration that we're just about done with, and then the team will be able to turn to finishing posting and GeoGrids. We've got Facebook, we've got Instagram, right? So we've got these app channels that are not only one that we have now, but we'll continue to add more features to each of these as we grow, and as our dev team is able to innovate and develop these new features and bring them live. But as we bring these new features live, there's going to be a higher cost for these features. Obviously, we've got the investment and we're going to get an ROI out of our investment in the development. And so if I have agency A who's got 200 clients and all of these app channels currently activated on a set budget, and I enforce these new features and a new higher price for that, and I don't give our agency an option, that could dramatically affect that agency's monthly budget and cost factor with us, and therefore it could really disrupt their business. We had that forethought in mind and didn't want, obviously that's not an option, but we didn't want to have our ability to innovate in features kind of locked down because of our limitation. So we literally spent a year of coding on the credit system, the tiered system, and some other key components of the overall platform to be able to bring this to market and be able to literally bring app channels to market at a pretty fast clip now that we're getting into the Q4 of this year and especially Q1 of next year. By bringing these new app channels to market and then building on more features and functionality as time goes on, and with the tiered functionality, we'll be able to add in tier 3. And if you want to activate the tier 3 app channel with all of its features, you'll be able to do that on an entity by entity basis without affecting the entire feature set that you currently have deployed as a small, medium, or especially in those bigger cases, the large agencies where it could really affect their economics. So that's just a quick deeper dive and explanation into why we have app channels and why we have the tiers, so that we can grow with us and our agencies can grow with us, and then activate these different features entity by entity, app channel by app channel, and make those decisions without having it radically affect their entire cost structure with us in one month, for example. So tier 1 is going to be the standard functionality, and it's going to include the branded integration version. Every user on our account can add an entity or unlimited entities into their account. And that's going to be a prospect or a customer, or your own business, potentially if it's your own business. And then you can actually deploy a branded integration media room for free. All right. And then obviously the media room is really only usable if you're going to populate content into it. And it's sitting there and not doing anything doesn't really do you any good. But once you have it deployed, mind you, there are the companies that are out there that provide media room software are charging between $400 and about $1,200 a month. Okay, so that's the range of what media room software alone is being charged for. All right, and there's I've showed you guys PR Newswire as far as their pricing guide. They're the most expensive, so I'll give you them, and then there's cheaper versions of it, but if you go to PR Newswire pricing guide and you look at their 2020 version, which is what they actually have live for download, it's the they take it down. They might have taken it down. It's been up. I have it saved too, but there it is. So it's the CDN link. If you open that up, it's going to just download a PDF. And if you go to page 4 of their pricing guide, you'll see their media room software right here. And yeah, they really are charging $15K per year and a $5,000 setup fee. So it's $20K in year 1 and then $15,000 a year in years 2 and beyond. I did go through a secret shopper. It was a 2-appointment session with them to actually find out what they would actually come down to if I negotiated with them. They came down to a $4,000 setup and $11,000 per year for a company that was shopping and was, I expressed this company does not have a big budget. 15K is way out of our range. Give me the very best price you can. 11K and $4,000 startup fee was what I got. So 15K in year 1 and $11,000 a year in years 2 and beyond. Essentially, a little bit more than $1,000 a month for media room software. Our media room software, as I just demonstrated, has way more capabilities than what theirs does. And we have 3 different versions of integrations. They don't even have an SSL on their hosted version of their media room. If you can believe it, for 15 grand a year, it does not include an SSL. So you can add a lot of value just by deploying the media rooms, and you can do that for free. Even on our Grow account, you can get in for no cost access, add unlimited entities, launch a media room at no cost, and all you're going to have is the cost of $30 to send out the article out to the news sites for distribution, and then. And again, guys, what's really important about this, this is all with what Google wants. Google wants quality content. Google loves to see quality content syndicated, distributed out on different places, getting traffic that shows interest. It shows that that's good, popular content. And then we're just creating a lot of phenomenal ranking signals with our software and automating all of that for our users. So this is there's nothing really wonky about this. This is good quality authorship content. Authorship syndicated out to quality news sites that have a DA/DR of between 45 and 85. So super high authority sites that get tens of thousands of visitors a month. They have millions of different links in their structure. They've got thousands of referring domains. So these have really, really good, high quality, real news sites. It's not a PBN. And so, you're going to just generate really authoritative signals with one piece of content that goes out to 40 to 50 different authoritative news sites. And then with these app channels and the media room all activated, these things start to work together, both on the target site and off the target site. So if we go back here and refresh, we should see this media room go live now, and it is live. So now we've got the media room on WWM. We've got the media room on the mediaroom.app subdomain. We've got the social wall deployed on socialwall.xyz, on a branded subdomain. And all we've got to do now is start posting content. And we can literally then just go to Signal Genesys, create new press release like we just did. Choose the location or entity, add our content, which is step 2. Pick where we're add maybe additional images, which we always use our images. We pick our distribution channels. We want Alexa, and Google Assistant ecosystems. If you want that, check that, and then publish. So it's literally create quality content, feed it into the engine, publish, and walk away. Let everything else happen on all these different deployed assets. So how long did that take? And that was especially long. I can't quite see what time it is there, but that took longer than what would normally be just because of the issues with Chrome Profile that I had there in the beginning. But we're at about 40 minutes. If I take out the extra complications, an extra 5 minutes, or maybe 35 to 40 minutes of setup one time. Once all these assets are set up and integrated and connected on the entity level here in SG, you're done with that setup. Now you just got to feed content in on the frequency or cadence that you choose. And that should be based on, competition levels, maybe the number of different topical keyword themes that you're trying to target for that business. 1, 2, maybe 3 articles at most per month per location. When I say per location, like we have here, we have a 2-location business. Each location has its own GMB listing. Therefore, each location is its own entity in Signal Genesys. And each location is going to go get its own set of one or more articles per month to generate signals around that particular GMB listing and location. So every unique GMB listing that you have that you want to do SEO for and drive map pack rankings for should be its own unique entity inside Signal Genesys. Get it set up with whatever you want to set it up with. Media Room, if you want Twitter and Reddit and Google. Oh, I forgot Google. We could also do Google, but Google is the same. It's just the reviews. Instead of taking the time to do that, what I can show you is what they look like when they're already deployed. So you can deploy the review wall directly on your site, and that's going to bring Google reviews and soon Facebook reviews. I've got a Facebook dummy review here, but it'll bring in Google and Facebook reviews directly into the target site. And then with the enhanced version on, you're going to have actual markup happening on these reviews. Each review will have its own individual page, probably by next week, as will the social app channels that are configured. If you have the social wall, you'll actually have individual pages for each account, Twitter and Reddit, and then each tweet or each post will have its own unique page, automatically generated by our software, but integrated into the direct clients or target website with our couple of lines of integration code. A lot happening just with that integration code happening on this target website, but then working in concert or in collaboration with these external pages that we have. So we also have reviews.quantumagency.io. This is the branded domain of the Google App Channel. So the Google App Channel is activated for this entity. In this case, it's Quantum Agency. And then our system has generated this new reviews and listing page. Okay. This same listing page is also at Quantum Agency. Come on, what is it? These are all new for me. What is it? I'm drawing a whole blank here. I'll find it here in a second. Anyway, this that same page is on a subdomain as well. And then you can actually, this is interactive. You can actually leave a review here to Google and Facebook when they're connected. And if you open that, it's just going to literally open up the review box for the target entity and let that person literally go in and leave a review. So that's a direct integration on the Google Reviews app channel. And once you connect the Google account or GMB listing, and if you're on tier 2, you can actually deploy these externally hosted app channels. Let me go. Just now I'm going to be bugged if I don't find out what that is. So if we go to the Google review channel here, the hosted domain, localreviews.biz. Okay, so here's that same listing asset on an externally hosted domain, quantumagency.localreviews.biz. Okay, so I can go back over to this one here, and that was what I was trying to pull up here. Oop. And so you can see that we've got so this is the Google app, Google Reviews channel activated on tier 2, and it gives us both of these assets, and then it's also directly integrated onto the site under the reviews wall. So you have the integrated version, you have the branded domain version, and you have the hosted version. So we're going to be renaming these just branded, hosted, integrated, just to make it simple, one word inside Signal Genesys. So when you come in here to activate the Google review channel, if you activate tier 2, you're going to see this option to go in here and connect it. And then let me go back here. to show you that. Then you're going to see branded, hosted, integrated. That's what's going to be renamed here, hopefully this next week here, just to make it a little bit more simple. So you'll have, and then you also have the styling. So you can see that image, that is the header image up here, that you can control with the styling. That all turns on with tier 2 as well. All right, so why do this? Well, with one app channel on tier 2 activated, you're going to have 3 different assets working in concert instead of one. Okay, so instead of one media room, I now have 3 media rooms working together. Our system is interlinking. Our system is working to actually drive domain authority to the WWM version of it, which will ultimately benefit and drive authority to the root domain. Okay, all of that happens automatically once this is all enabled, and all you got to do is just feed content. And the more you feed content to Twitter, to Reddit, to the media room, the more the reviews are, the more reviews they receive. All of that content now is flowing into the website via the integrated version and flowing into the hosted and branded versions automatically as well if you have those activated. So with that, I'll just take some questions now that we've been able to kind of demo what this setup looks like. Again, you can probably get it down to about 30 minutes of setup per entity one time. Once you kind of got everything ready to go and you've gone through it a few times, you don't have some of the challenges that I had this evening, and then off we go. So Patrick says, do you use a VPS when you are creating the new Gmail account and Chrome profile on a new computer? No, we're not using a VPS. We do have a VPS for some of our apps, some of our team members do use, but generally speaking, no. They are using a they're all using USA-based IP addresses for our offshore staff, so that everyone's got a USA-based IP address. But no, they're using their own computers. Chrome profiles were meant for this very purpose. So if you have somebody who has multiple Gmail accounts, maybe 3 Gmail accounts, 2 G Suite or Workspace accounts, you can have all of those working from one computer without being cross-contaminated by using the Chrome profile feature. So Dan says, so you're saying your staff creates a new Gmail account? No, we're not creating that for you after you sign up. I'm showing you what we do when we have a new SEO campaign and how we set up that entity, Dan. I'm saying you probably want to create a new Gmail account for each entity, but that's up to you and how what your processes are. I'm showing you tonight how we do it, so that when we have a new campaign that comes to us through our white label agency, or if we're doing it for ourselves, what we will do is we'll create a new Gmail account that we're going to use to create all of the other accounts with. And then that Gmail account is also what we use for the new profile, the new Chrome profile. Yeah, welcome to demo hell. Tim says there may be issues with Chrome profiles. All of mine disappeared today. Yeah, I literally have a brand new Mac Mini that I got 2 days ago, and just got, so I've got a brand new Mac Mini with a brand new Mac Monterey running and the brand new version of Chrome, Chrome, whatever version that is. So it is definitely a little bit different than the way it has functioned before. So. Ivan says, oh no, let me go up here a little bit here. Patrick says, is there a tool called multi-login to handle separating Google and Chrome accounts and profiles? I actually use Shift. I don't know if you guys have heard of Shift, but I use, you can go to tryshift.com. That is much the same, and I also manage all of the different Google Workspace accounts or Gmail accounts all inside Shift, so I don't have to go to Chrome profile hell, but you can use Shift or you can use Chrome profiles or something, and then there's other things that are alternatives to Shift as well. But anyway, Dan says, tell us more success case studies. Inside of our knowledge base, there is, if you go to our YouTube account, I do have some case studies on our YouTube account. So if you go to YouTube and look for Signal Genesis, I can grab our YouTube account here. while I'm talking. But if you go there, I do have a 3-part case study series. I know, William, you probably have some case studies. Maybe you want to chime in on that as well, as far as case studies in terms of using single Genesis. William, you there?
We've done them for almost everybody. I mean, I have them over and over again where we've, like even the sod installation, Graham has done it, where the only thing we've done is the press releases and then review uploads and stuff like that, but nothing else, no backlinks, no, blog commenting or anything crazy, no guest blog posts or anything like that, just press releases. So
here's this 3-part case study series will probably be really instructive. I don't know, I can't remember who asked that question, but there's part 1, part 2, and part 3. And part 1, I do it like 48 hours after the first PR was run and the page started ranking on page 1 in the first spot for some of the keywords. They were low-hanging fruit, not really competitive keywords at all, but good keywords nonetheless. But by the time we got to day 68, part 3, the new blog article that was the page or the target of that I wanted to rank was ranking in the #1 spot for the money keyword, along with a number of other related keywords as well, just LSI keywords, if you will. So that case study series is in our YouTube channel, and I will drop that link for everybody in the chat, so you can go subscribe to our YouTube channel if you want. Ivan says, can we edit the content that is posted in the media room on a client's site? I mostly think about links in the content. So we publish content that gets distributed, and afterwards I edit the internal links. That's a great question, Ivan. Let me share my screen again, show you guys. So we are the only platform that has the ability to actually edit your article live after it is live on the news sites. So you can see here, these are actual reports or press releases that are published, okay, and the reports are already available. I can come in here and I can edit this press release, and the only thing you cannot edit is the headline and the blog headline. You can see those are grayed out. Everything else, all of your links, all of your content, your images, anything and everything else can be edited. And then once you are done, you'll come back down here and you'll check the box. It'll cost you a few credits for editing. So mind you, it's going to cost you $5 to $7 depending on where and what you're publishing. But yes, you can edit for a few dollars after it's been published. Whatever changes you make here, we'll publish live to all the news sites. Takes a couple of hours, but once it will come back to us for approval. So mind you, every time you submit a press release, it is going to a human being on our staff for review. If it contains prohibited content, if it's spammy, if it's poorly written and spun, it will get rejected by the human beings on our team, because we have to have a quality article go out to these live news sites. They are picky. They will reject some things, even some things that we let through. Sometimes they'll decide they don't want it on their site and they'll take it down, which is why we don't always guarantee an exact same number of pickups, even though it's going to get published on all these sites. Generally speaking, there are some articles or some news sites that decide we don't want that or we don't want that, and they'll take it down individually, even though we've approved it because it's not prohibited content. They may decide that article, they just don't want it, that someone saw it, they didn't like it, they got a complaint, whatever the case may be, and that can happen. But nonetheless, you can edit everything but the headline and blog headline post-publication, republish those changes, and they will go live out to all the news sites and, of course, the media room as well. So, and that probably is a good way for me to just get into this real quick. When I come in here and I create a new press release, okay, and I've launched the media room, so like I did with the mobile detail doctor demo tonight, when I go ahead and I publish a new press release, okay, in So I go and I create from scratch, and I'll create the new article. I'll, pick the company from the drop down here, set it all up, get my content in here, get all that set up and done, and then go to step 3, get all that stuff done, and I hit publish. Okay. The first thing that happens once you hit publish, after our staff approves it, as soon as we basically approve it, within about a half an hour to an hour, the first thing that happens is the article will publish to the media room, or media rooms if you have more than one deployed. Okay, so it deploys to the media room, or publishes to the media room, or multiple if you have them deployed, and then our system is going to ping Google Search Console to come crawl the media room pages. We want Google to find those pages, or that article on the target site or target domain and the related media rooms, if they're on hosted versions as well, before it is found on the live news sites. Okay, that's an important piece of making sure that you get the target domain gets the credit for the content. So that happens in that specific order for that specific reason. Once the article is published and goes out for, say, publication and distribution, it then appears on the media room. And once it's on the media room, let me go here, it publishes here. And then within about 48 hours after publication, we also have this in the news integration here, and you'll see a random sample, not all, but a random sample, and this is randomized article by article of where the article was actually picked up and published. So I can click on any of these, and it'll then take me out to that particular live news site and give me the representation of the article on that live, in this case, a CBS site, right? And here's the article on this live news site. This is a super high authoritative site. I think this one's got one of the higher ones, like a DA of 70, 75. And we're throwing off all sorts of very powerful ranking signals on this page. You can see I've got links in here. Obviously, some are no follow. Up to 3 you can have as do follow. Our SLP is 2. You get up to 3, you can choose 1, 2, or 3. That's your choice. No more than 3. That's a new part of our algorithm, just because it was getting abused. There's no reason to have more than 3 in any article, because you're diluting your page rank anyway. So 1, 2, or 3, but you've got ranks in here, links in here. We've got images in here. We've got H2, H3, H4 tagged content in here. You've got another image in here. You can put videos inside your content. You've got these thumbnail images that are hosted on our Amazon S3 bucket. Those are also optimized for you. You'll find that any images that you put in here will start to rank in Google Images pretty quickly. So use these slots. You have a structured citation here. We have a direct Google Map integration here. This map is showing up on this live CBS site, not through embed code. Okay, I'm going to say it again. This map here for this particular GMB listing is not showing up on this live CBS site through embed code. This is a live map API call with a live GMB map display. Okay, this is happening 30, 40, 50 times with one article. A live map API call that comes in not only to the media room, because it is also here, right? That map is here. That map is also up here, right here. But that map also shows up on 35 to 50 different authoritative media sites. And again, it's not appearing here through a map embed code. That's just flat code that Google can see. Oh, there's the map. There's just there because of the iframe code. No, this is a live Google Map API call to bring that map and display it here. That is a super powerful Google My Business signal that you can't fake or replicate. It's showing, we're bringing that directly into a very authoritative news site. And then you can see down here, we've got the original source. The original source is part of, hey, we're going to push or publish the content to the media room first, pause for 24 hours, let Google crawl and recognize the article being published to the media room or the target domain first, and then we go out and we begin to do our syndication and distribution process. And then on every single one of these live news sites, we have this original source down here with a direct link back to the meeting room. So we create that loop. All of these are, this article, well, we can go in here and actually look at it. So we can go in here and look and see how many signals approximately did that article actually put off. When you're in here on your software here, you come over here to your dashboard, you come over to your signals, you're going to pick the target entity. In this case, we're looking at Quantum Agency, and we're looking at, I think it was this one right here. So that particular article that we saw on that CBS site, for example, is throwing off approximately 462 ranking signals. How is that broken up? It's broken up into link signals, image signals. In this case, I did not have a video in that particular release. Otherwise, we would have media signals. We've got map signals. We've got citation signals. So we're actually going to now be, because now we have social signals and review signals. So this is going to be integrated into the signal reporting dashboard as well. And like I said, why are we doing the social wall? Why are we doing the review wall? Why are we bringing reviews into the target website? Why are we bringing social posts that normally and have always previously existed only on Twitter or only on Facebook or only on Reddit? Now we're bringing them into the client's target domain and on externally hosted assets as well. Why? Because it's more signals. The more ranking signals we can throw off with one unique article of content, the better and the easier it gets by doing that. So you can literally drive hundreds and hundreds of ranking signals, like Williams just said, with one article of content, and literally rank your map pack or your GMB listing in the map pack and your web page in the organic components of the SERPs with no other link building, really nothing else. Yeah, there's some niches, some keywords they're going to be super competitive that you're going to need to do more for, but we don't even start to look at doing more until we're in months 4 to 5 and we're still not hitting the mark where we want to be from the ranking standpoint. If I'm seeing that thing still moving month over month, I'm not doing anything else until I see it stop moving and it just isn't going to hit the #1 spot. And if it stops moving before the #1 spot and all we've done up until that point is ongoing content through Signal Genesis, then I know, okay, we've got to do more. But if you start doing a bunch of other things first, then you maybe and are likely doing a lot of extra work that you don't need to do, and you're likely spending a lot of extra time and money to get rankings that you don't need to be spending. Again, you go to our YouTube channel and watch these 3. I rank for a keyword that gets over 5,000 searches a month, and I'm getting real live business from it every single month, by the way. So that ranking is producing money for us. It wasn't just a case study. I was doing because I really wanted our white label agency to rank for that keyword because I knew it would drive some new business, which it is. And all I did was one blog post and 3 succession press releases in a press release stack, if you will, and drove that page to #1 spot. And we can do another search right now just to test it again. After 68 days, one article and 3 press releases for Google stacking, and we're in the #1 spot. And if you do Google entity stacking, #1 spot, #2 spot. Google asset stacking, #1 spot, #2 spot, #3 spot, #4 spot. How's that for owning the search? Okay, literally, this is our asset, that's our asset, our direct website, which is what we want. This is great, America's News Hub or WBOC, the CBS, but that's not what I want, nor do you want that really for your clients. What they want is their website ranking. This is great when we have a 3rd and a 4th, SERP result, but I want these spots to be my target domain, which is really the ultimate goal. And that's what our software does, is it builds the authority and it builds the ranking signals, not just link signals, but multiple ranking signals around the target domain and the target GMB listing to rank those assets, because those are what drive the money into that business. Everything else is just extra fluff on top. More questions? Can we edit? Oh, that was that. Okay, so Dan says, is the board shared amongst multiple clients or kept isolated from each other? No, it's isolated from each client, Dan. So the social wall, I think is what you're saying there. The social wall is unique to each entity or client. You connect their Twitter account, their Reddit account, their Google listing, and then the review wall, the social wall are specific to that company or that location. Patrick says, do you have to warm up the new Gmail account first before you use it in Signal Genesis? Again, we're not using that Gmail account inside Signal Genesis. I showed you the Gmail account and the Chrome profile because that's just part of our overall process. And I suggest it for all agencies. Use a Chrome profile or a similar strategy so you prevent cross-contamination of your browser cache. That will result in lots of headaches if you manage more than a couple client SEO campaigns. When you manage, hundreds of them like we do and other agencies do, you can't be messing around with browser cache issues. It's just it wreaks havoc on your system. So that's why we use a new Gmail account and a new Chrome profile, and then we use that Gmail account for the setup of the Reddit account, the Twitter account. You can use any email, right? You can use a non-Gmail account to set up a Reddit and a Twitter account. It doesn't have to be Gmail. That's just our SOP. I thought I'd share that with you guys, but it does not, you don't need a Gmail account inside Signal Genesis at all. The only thing you're going to need a Google account for is if you're going to activate the Google app channel, then you're going to need to connect the Google account, which is the at least a manager level of that GMB listing. Content for Kratom and CBD, is it allowed? Yes. On that topic, it's a yes, but it's a little bit gray, because CBD can be, I don't know all the laws. So for sure, medical marijuana, no go. Recreational marijuana, no go for these news sites, because it's illegal in some states. And so because it's illegal in some states, the whole network just kind of has those as prohibited content. With Kratom and CBD, you'll probably be okay, but understand that you might have an issue, and just maybe work with Matt and our team. If there's an issue, we can usually get those through as long as we don't have any kind of crazy buzzwords that might get caught or flagged. That's the last of questions that I have, and we're just past the top of the hour. So if there's more questions, I'm happy to entertain them, William. If not, I hope you guys found some value in what I showed you. Sorry for the demo hell in the beginning with the Chrome profile and all that. I'm used to using 3 screens, and I've got this new Mac Mini with 1 screen on a stand-up desk. So I'm still getting used to that as well from a usage standpoint and doing meetings. But anyway, guys, thanks for your time tonight. I don't have any more questions. And if anybody else has them, pipe in now or forever hold your peace. William, you got anything you want to add? I don't even know if William's here anymore. All right, folks. Well, I appreciate your time. Hopefully this helped you guys just see how to activate the app channels, what tier 2 means in terms of activating some of the externally hosted assets as well. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free join our Facebook group as well. Just go to Facebook groups, look for Signal Genesis. I'll add you in there, and feel free to ask your questions inside the Facebook group as well. But you guys all have a great night or a great day, depending on where you're at. Appreciate you guys. Have a good one. Take care.